Katie.
Hiya.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Wherever you are in the world, welcome and thank you for joining us. My name is Carl Anthony, and this is AutoVision News Live at AutoSens and InCabin USA 2024. We are in the heart of the Motor City at the Huntington Place in downtown Detroit. Joining us now is Rob Stead, Managing Director of Sense Media, the organizers of the AutoSens and InCabin events. Rob, welcome. Good to see you.
Hi, Carl. Great to see you as always.
I think my first question is, can you believe it's already been a year and we're back?
I know. Time goes quickly. It's really great to be back in Detroit, and this is obviously a really big event for us this year. It's the first time we've pulled AutoSens and InCabin together in the States, and it's been a fantastic week. Like usual, so much time spent building up towards these important dates, and then once it starts, it's a mad flurry, and suddenly we're on the closing afternoon. But it's been a really, really great week.
We've got these two incredible conferences, InCabin and AutoSens, under one roof here at the Huntington Place in downtown Detroit. Rob, why bring the events together? What was the focus there?
Yeah, so InCabin sprung from AutoSens originally. We were covering external facing sensing systems, and then there was more and more interest in the internal sensing systems. So back in 2022, we decided to split them out. In 2023, we ran them as separate conferences, and that went well, but we felt like we were maybe missing an opportunity by not bringing the two communities together at the same time. There are two distinct audiences here and two distinct areas of innovation, but there are a lot of common technologies and a lot of shared challenges. And I think we've seen a lot of cross-pollination and interest between the two communities. So for 2024, we're co-locating both here in the US and later in the year in Europe, and it's gone really, really well. I think the look and feel of the event, we've got a clear contrast between the two, but everything comes together nicely. All the attendees have a full run of the venue, and it just gives us that critical scale as well. I mean, we've had around 870 registrations for this week, so that's our biggest ever event. And more people means more networking, more opportunities. So
absolutely,
it's the first time we've done it, but it feels like the right decision to me, and we'll stick with this going forward.
Between the technology demos, the technical presentations, the tutorial sessions, Rob, what are three key takeaways? What are three takeaways that you would put at the top of your list?
So first of all, thermal imaging is coming. I feel like that is probably the hottest topic. I'm speaking mostly for AutoSens here because I've been in that track and moderating those sessions. But thermal imaging, there's a lot of good innovation there. There are new regulations which are driving the necessity to sense well at nighttime. There's increasing concern over pedestrian deaths, and I think thermal imaging can be a really strong part of the solution there. So this is the first takeaway. Second is more just on our event. So in the last few years, we've had much more engagement from people bringing vehicles and scale demonstrations. Here we have several demonstrations which were only seen in private at CES prior to the show here, and this audience really likes to get hands-on. They want to touch the technology, see it in action, and having scaled up the exhibition and bringing these demonstrations really allows us to showcase and allows our partners to showcase what they're doing in a really hands-on manner. And the third takeaway, Detroit is thriving. I've had a bunch of conversations. I came here for the first time in 2014. It's been a long journey since then for the city, but such a transformation, even in just 1 year since last year. The whole downtown area feels so modern and so fresh, and everybody I speak to has the same impression. I know the NFL, the draft was here a few weeks ago, and again, again, just hearing from many people the amazing impression all of the recent visitors have had to the city and the wider state. So yeah, really great to be back here again.
Yeah, it's really cool to be in the heart of the Motor City, and then you have AutoSens and InCabin. All of the action. You mentioned the NFL draft. We've got the Detroit Grand Prix coming up
soon. Yeah.
And then you have AutoSens and InCabin right in the heart of that too. Right in the action. And you had mentioned the vehicle demonstrations, and I think that's key because one of the things I've always enjoyed so much about AutoSens and InCabin is this technology that maybe we read about it in an article or we see it in a video, and that's great. But when you see it in person, either at an exhibition stand or in a vehicle, that light bulb goes on. I've seen a number of demonstrations over the last 2 days where, again, I just had that light bulb moment. And I think that's one of the most incredible things about these AutoSens and InCabin events. You get to see it firsthand.
That's right. And so we have fully subsidized passes for all the OEMs and tier ones. Obviously here in Detroit, in Michigan, there are many, many local companies from that part of the supply chain. So bringing together the technology providers, showcasing their latest innovations and research. Some of what's on show isn't commercially available yet, but it's giving that taste of what's to come.
Yeah.
And for those OEM and tier one engineers to be able to come and get their hands on and talk to the engineering experts from the technology providers as well, it's providing real value for people who are developing these systems for the future.
Rob, we're rounding down the day here, just about finished with the Detroit event, but we're looking forward here later in 2024 to both Barcelona and China. Tell us more about the events coming up.
That's right. So as I mentioned, we'll be co-locating in Barcelona. As you know, our previous events in Europe have been in Brussels since the beginning in 2016. So we're sad to leave Brussels behind. Some great memories there in the Automotive Museum. But we will be in Barcelona in a brand new venue for AutoSens and InCabin, co-locating the events. We're expecting even more people for that event. So upwards of 1,000 attendees and around 80 or 90 exhibitors. So all the pieces are coming together. And then we're just announcing this week that we'll also be running in China towards the end of the year. So 19th to the 21st of November, near to Shanghai, in a place called Hufei, which is a real hotbed of investment and innovation for automotive. And we're super excited about that. So yeah, lots to come from us later on in the year.
Yeah, Rob, I'm really excited. So from all of us here at AutoVision News, thank you for your time, for sharing your expertise with us and sharing your insights. Have a great rest of the show, and when everything ends, safe travels back home. And I look forward to doing this again in Barcelona real soon.
Thanks, Carl. It's always a pleasure.
More to come from AutoSens and InCabin USA 2024 at the Huntington Place in downtown Detroit, alongside Rob Stead. I'm Carl Anthony, AutoVision News.